Hello, my name is Ashton Graham, and I'm a social media specialist at a marketing agency called Strongline, and this is my associate, Ron Captain. Today, we're going to be talking about establishing your professional online presence to our students at home. So Ron, do you know about social networking sites? Do you use any?
I do. I know about LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter.
Did you also know that Google+, Instagram, Reddit, Tumblr, Flickr, Vine, YouTube, those are all considered social networking sites. So the first thing you want to do when you log in is create your personal profile on any of these sites. And these profiles are viewable either by your list of connections, your friends, or even by the public. Information you share on these profiles can include a number of things like your age, your location, anything you like, any comments you make, any photos you post. So why is this important to consider? Everyone uses Google. Have you ever Googled someone?
Absolutely.
Right. So when you're in high school and you are applying for college, applying for a job, applying for a scholarship, the first thing that someone's probably going to do when they see your name is Google you. So what you want to do is control what pops up on Google, okay? You don't want a potential employer to see you in a bikini or maybe a tweet that you're not so proud of. So today we're going to talk about making a positive impression online and really taking control of what you share on the internet. There's a number of ways to actively take control of what you share online. You can consider public profiles versus private profiles. So for example, maybe you want to keep your Facebook private so you can share those photos that, you know, on vacation and anything that your close family and friends would appreciate. And then maybe on Twitter you want to be public because you are a public figure, or you're a comedian, or any number of reasons that you want the public to see what you share. You can also use alternative usernames. You don't have to connect your actual name with your Twitter profile, for example. Do you have a Twitter?
I do.
And what is your handle?
My Twitter handle is actually my name.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yes.
So, and do you use it publicly?
Yes.
Okay. So you probably don't post anything that you're ashamed of?
No, absolutely not.
So that's good. Another thing to consider is to always think before you click. Even if you're liking something, that is shown to your followers that you like that. So anything controversial, you just want to be really careful when it comes to those kind of things. And always be proud of everything you share. Really imagine that 500 people are going to be seeing this. You know, this could be your family, your friends, your boss, any of these people. Really ask yourself, would you be proud of them seeing that? So to take control of our online web presence, the first thing we want to do is set up a professional profile. The #1 professional profiles out there right now is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a social networking site. It's business oriented, and a few quick facts. There's 347 million members worldwide on LinkedIn. And that sounds like a lot, and you'd be surprised that 40 million of those members are students and recent graduates. And why do you think these students use LinkedIn?
Most of them probably use LinkedIn so that they can get a job once they're done with high school, done with college.
That's exactly right. There's over 500,000 internships and student jobs available on LinkedIn. And the best part is it's absolutely free to sign up. So let's talk about using LinkedIn to promote your professional self. The reason you want a profile is so when those employers or scholarship committees Google you, the first thing that pops up on that Google search is going to be your LinkedIn profile. And this is a place where you can share career and life goals, your past employment, education, projects you've done, and even volunteer work and organizations you belong to. So this is an example of a LinkedIn profile, and this is our mascot, Peyton the Panther. And there's 3 very key things on this profile. The first being your photo. The second is the title, which falls under your name. And the third is your summary, which is similar to a bio. So first, let's talk about professional headshots. Do you have a professional headshot on your LinkedIn?
I do. Lucky enough to have one here through work, so.
Right, okay. Yeah, most people get them done at work, and there's other ways you can get this done if you don't belong to an office that has this capabilities. But you want to consider having a high quality photo. There's nothing worse than trying to see someone and it's all fuzzy, and then you also want to smile in this picture, okay? You don't want to have a photo that you look scary or mean. You definitely want to be inviting. You want to avoid rigid poses, definitely look natural, don't look uncomfortable. And you want to wear a solid colored top because you don't want, when you have patterns on in a photo, it can be confusing. And definitely look like your best self. You don't want to catfish someone and not be recognizable when they meet you in person. So here's a couple examples of selfie no-nos on your LinkedIn. Don't do a duck face, don't be in with the background like the gym or on vacation. Those aren't very appropriate for LinkedIn.
So with the selfies that most people post for social media, do you see a lot of incorrect selfies, or the selfie no-nos as you described them, on LinkedIn that college students and high school students are posting?
Absolutely. Pictures that are appropriate for Facebook, on vacation, enjoying yourself, that is not necessarily appropriate on LinkedIn. You definitely want to have a professional headshot, shoulders up, and just really showing yourself in the correct setting. The employer wants to imagine hiring you, so they want to see you looking professional.
And if they see an incorrect photo compared to another possible applicant that has a professional headshot done, is that sort of a strike already against you when you're going in applying for a job or looking for a job on LinkedIn?
Oh, definitely. Someone with a professional headshot is definitely going to stand out against someone, in a car photo, a selfie on vacation, definitely. So let's talk about a few headline tips. So the headline, which is the line that falls under your name, is a place where you can kind of give yourself a title, which a lot of people have never done that before. So it can seem intimidating, but it's really a strength of a good profile. So you want to avoid using simplistic titles such as unemployed or student, and instead use this opportunity to make a positive impression of yourself. So I've gathered some examples for our students at home for good headlines. One is aspiring finance student seeking banking internship. So right there, I know that this student is in the field of finance and they would like to work for a bank. The next one is a college-bound student seeking part-time summer employment. This says a lot about that student. They're not looking for something full-time, they just want a summer job. The next one is entry-level fundraiser helping nonprofits. So this one doesn't necessarily ask for a position, but it does show what they do and what they're interested in. And then the final one is honors student seeking freelance writing opportunities. So this isn't necessarily a position, but work they're looking for. The next section on your LinkedIn profile is your summary. And in the summary, you really want to tell a story about yourself. And you don't have to follow your English course rules. You get to actually talk in first person. This is the section where you share your accomplishments, your strengths, and your skills. And this is where you can use a lot of descriptive words about yourself. So what's the next step? You really want to build up your profile, and you can do this by attaching projects and work examples. And LinkedIn allows you to attach YouTube videos, images, PDFs, Microsoft Word documents, and PowerPoint presentations. And I know some of you at home are thinking, I don't have any work experience, I don't know what to put on there. But this could be anything. It can include school papers, newspaper articles, links to publications, your blog, a YouTube channel, any examples of work you've done and your passion.
Now, is there such a thing as too much information on your LinkedIn profile, or would you just recommend the students put, like you said, as much as they possibly can about the experiences that they've had up on their profile?
I would definitely suggest sharing as much as possible, as long as it is relevant to your professional profile. If you have just goofy Vine videos, that might not be appropriate for your LinkedIn profile, versus if you're really passionate about makeup and you're trying to break into the makeup industry and you have a YouTube channel where you do tutorials, that is perfectly acceptable. Other sections you can add to on your LinkedIn profile include your volunteering past, honors and awards, test scores, clubs, courses, certificates, projects, grades, activities, languages, and even skills. So after you set up your LinkedIn profile, there's a few more steps you need to take. The next thing you can do is add connections. So first of all, you can add everyone you already know. This can include family members, friends, people you've worked with in the past. And then the next thing you want to do is send invitations to people you meet. This is a great way to remember people, their face with their names, and then also have yourself remembered by them. But don't just go on LinkedIn and just add everyone you see. There's no extra points for having extra connections. It's not a popularity contest. It is a networking tool and a great way to get to know people you know. So the next thing you want to do is develop your network. You can do this by joining groups on LinkedIn, and the groups include anything you're passionate about. So if you enjoy a certain sport or a certain hobby, go ahead and join those groups.
Now, through the groups, do you make additional connections when you join a group?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
You can also follow companies. So maybe you're seeking a certain internship and you know that a few different companies have them. So go ahead and follow them, and those companies often list opportunities, so you'll be aware of them. You can also apply for jobs through LinkedIn. And this is a very easy process. Once you have your profile and all your experience and you find a job, you can just hit apply, and then that HR department can see your profile and all your experience. You can also endorse other people's skills. So you have a list of skills and so does everyone else. If you know someone is really good at blogging, go ahead and say they're really good at blogging, and then they'll probably return the favor. And then you have all these endorsements and it gives you credibility on LinkedIn. And then you also really want to stay active. You don't want to create your profile and then just put it on the back burner and forget about it. You know, log into LinkedIn every few days and share links to articles that you read and that is relatable to your field and to your passion. And it keeps you on the radar of everyone that you're connected with. So a few of the things we've talked about today is that your professional online presence is going to have a huge impact on your future. So you need to proactively take measures to make a positive impression. And there's free online tools you can use to do this, such as having a LinkedIn profile.
So Ashton, when people Google your name, what's the first thing that you want to pop up?
I would definitely prefer my LinkedIn profile to pop up. They can see me as a professional and they can learn a lot about me through my past experiences and work.
So for students who might be watching this or tuning in, do you recommend that they create multiple profiles on social media sites?
You can definitely use all the social media sites out there, but I would suggest keeping the ones that are more personal, private, or using an alternative username like we discussed, and then really promoting your LinkedIn profile publicly.
So it might be a good idea then, so let's say Facebook student A has their first Facebook profile that doesn't use their real name, is the page that they put all of their friends' pictures and selfies and everything else on. Would it be wise for them to create a secondary Facebook page with their actual name to be used more as that professional sort of appearance?
Oh, definitely. You can definitely use Facebook professionally as well. It doesn't just have to be LinkedIn, but LinkedIn does offer more sections that include, your volunteer experience, your work, your projects. So I would suggest using LinkedIn professionally over Facebook, but if you do want to be public Facebook, then consider what you're posting when it comes to photos and friends and comments like that.
Have you seen students or high school, college-age kids post something and the next step is they're fired, they lose their job, something happens where their boss sees it and they're not happy about it? Have you seen something like that happen before?
I've been reading in the media recently about people posting negative things about the business they work for or their boss, and because it's public, it is available for people to see, and they're either reported by coworkers or their boss sees it firsthand, and there are repercussions for that.
So it sounds like the biggest thing, in addition to creating the professional profiles, students need to be aware of what they're posting at all times. No matter what it is, they need to think about how it's going to affect them long term.
Definitely.
So let's say, Ashton, I'm a student who is looking for their first summer job. I don't have any work experience. We've done some volunteer things at school as part of a larger group, and we've taken part in projects and things like that at school. What would be a recommendation for me to put on a LinkedIn profile since I'm looking for my first summer job?
I would definitely include the clubs that you're part of at school and each of the projects that you've worked on. If you helped plan prom, for example, that's a great thing to put on LinkedIn. It shows that you're organized, it shows that you take initiative, and that looks great to employers.
So I'm filling out my LinkedIn profile, and in the information section, since I'm a high school student, I want to go ahead and put my SAT scores, my ACT scores, standardized testing scores, so that job seekers know, hey, this is an intelligent person, they know what they're going to be able to do. Where on the LinkedIn profile would I put that, or is that even something that I should put on the LinkedIn profile?
Oh, definitely. When you are setting up your LinkedIn profile, there are sections that show you, you can fill in your test scores. If you were an honor roll student, you can add that to your LinkedIn. Any awards you received, that is perfect content for your LinkedIn profile.
Now, all the content below the header in the LinkedIn profile. If somebody doesn't have a professional headshot or a good sounding headline or a bio that pops out, are they likely to even read down to the accomplishments that that person has or see what information is further on the page, or are most job seekers going to look at it as these are the top 3 things we're looking for, and if this all checks out, then we're going to go delve deeper into that profile?
That's a great question. Like any website, the top section before you scroll down is going to be where you want to invite people in. So when you have that professional photo, when you have that great headline and that bio, that's really going to entice people to keep reading and scroll down and see your skills and your volunteer experience and any employment. But you definitely want to make that impact on the initial photo, headline, and summary.
Awesome. Okay, perfect.
So thank you, Ron, for sitting down with me today. I hope the students at home learned something about a professional online presence. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below.